You know, I thought I finally got away from the gaming drama last episode with Microsoft announcing that they were holding off on their threat to increase game prices, but Nintendo just thought they'd be doing some price adjustments of their own, as they have introduced a price increase that'll be affecting the Switch 1, the OLED model, the Switch Lite, as well as other accessories, and the only thing I could say about this is not okay. We can't allow companies to sell previous generations of consoles for a higher amount. Now, the one caveat to this is the price increase is fairly minimal, at least from what I could find online. It is only about a 15% markup, and to address it, we could probably guess why this is, but I'm not going to touch that with a 5-foot pole. But for the price increases, the Switch is going from $300 to $340, the OLED's going from $350 to $400, and the Lite is going from $200 to $230. Now, this may not be so scary on the surface because the only people that are really going to eat the brunt of this are the people that haven't gotten into the console yet, that they haven't gotten into Nintendo for a while. It's going to suck for those people because they're the ones that are going to have to eat the price increase. So it's going to suck for them, but I think the one kind of silver lining is that they're not also increasing the price of the Switch 2. I mean, it's not stopping them from increasing the price of the Nintendo Switch 2 accessories, amiibos, and a sound clock apparently. Which, great, the already really shitty and garbage 360p camera that they've been boasting about for their video chatting is gonna cost even more. You know how everybody complained about when the Switch 2 came out and everybody was saying, oh, this is way too much money to put towards a console, this is crazy. And now Nintendo is just kind of doubling down, which is really weird. Obviously, like I said, we know why this is happening, but I feel like there are other ways to do this. Just to play devil's advocate, you know, they could increase the price of their DLCs and, you know, blanket market it as increased quality or a deluxe DLC. And, you know, they'll most likely also increase the price of their Nintendo Switch Online membership when they put their next console on there. I can imagine that happening as well. But I just think this is a really bad time for this kind of price increase. Of course, they had to do this with the global climate, but at the same time, I feel like there were other ways to do this. And no, I'm not talking about the multi-million-dollar company eating whatever extra cost they have to accrue. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just feel like this alienates people from wanting to get into the Switch as a whole, because a lot of people were mad about how much the Switch 2 costs, not to mention the games that are still being priced at $100, whether that stays as their independent games or stretches to their third-party games has yet to be seen. But yeah, people look at the sheen and shine of Donkey Kong Bonanza and they forget that it costs basically a rent payment for a full month to cover the cost of the game, accessories, the console itself. And you know, if I'm really gonna play devil's advocate, I would much rather Nintendo just make a deal with Lego and just have Lego create every single one of their franchises, or, you know, do anything else than affecting the digital media that people use to kind of keep sane. But on that point, I think it is a missed opportunity that we haven't seen like a Legend of Zelda, a Kirby, a Metroid Lego set. I feel like that is where we should be seeing quote unquote price increases or new revenue streams. Go back to being a toy company to a smaller extent, you know? Yes, gaming is your main revenue source, but I don't think anybody would be upset if we got like a Lego R-Wing. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to discuss when it comes to the Nintendo Switch price update. It kind of sucks for those that have never gotten into the Switch, but the one caveat is the fact that at least this won't be affecting the current Switch 2 console, at least for now. But at this point, I think it's time for me to send it back to me and my friends as we discuss K-pop Demon Hunters.